Hi. Have you seen the movie Moonrise Kingdom yet? Judging from the box office returns, I'd say there's a decent chance you haven't, but then again, you're actually watching my video, so there's actually a decent chance you're my wife. In which case, hi! You're in the other room right now pretending you can't hear me. But in case you're one of the statistical anomalies who's actually watching my video and isn't my wife, you should go see Moonrise Kingdom as soon as possible. If it's not playing near you right now, put it on your Netflix list so you won't forget. And if you don't have Netflix, I don't know how you see movies anymore. Have someone act it out for you or something. Quick synopsis. This is the story of Sam, the 12-year-old fugitive of the Khaki Scouts attempting to run away with Susie, the love of his short life. Together they try to escape Susie's parents, the police, a band of scouts straight out of Lord of the Flies, a hurricane, and of course time, with the fierce determination that only young love can inspire. It's a fantastic movie that I think everybody should go see. With one obvious caveat. Don't bother seeing this movie if you don't like Wes Anderson films. In my opinion, Moonrise Kingdom is kind of the movie that Wes Anderson's been trying to make his entire career. A large number of elements and themes that are important to the style of his previous films are central to this one, in ways that both seem more realistic and more wonderful than any of them before. Most of Anderson's previous films involve characters that have sort of a childlike inability to envision the consequences of their actions, making grand, often dangerous and romanticized gestures, and then being surprised when, for some reason, they go wrong. The problem is, these characters are usually old enough to know better, but live in an overindulgent environment that allows them to screw up without any negative results. Sam and Susie are young enough that their bravado, their risk-taking, and their sense of just owning the world around them is actually sort of refreshing instead of frustrating. There's never a feeling like they need to grow up. In fact, their youth is what makes them so interesting to watch. If you were to ask someone to talk about a Wes Anderson film, they'd probably talk a lot about the retro style and fashion and art and music and all of that. And it's definitely prevalent in Moonrise Kingdom, but it actually kind of makes sense as more than just a stylistic choice by the director, because for once the movie's actually set in the time period where these things are coming from, as opposed to the sort of stylistic, retro-modern era that doesn't really have a time that seems to happen a lot in his previous films. Obviously, style is very important in a Wes Anderson film, and it doesn't suffer at all here. It just is actually grounded in some sort of a reality. Finally, flawed parents are a pretty common theme in Wes Anderson films, and again, they definitely appear here. Often the main characters are so screwed up because parents don't really pay enough attention to them, they're too busy indulging themselves, and they allow the characters to make bad decisions while the parents are engaging in their own destructive behaviors. In Moonrise Kingdom, the parents are still quite flawed, and Frances McDormand carries on the tradition from Angelica Houston of mothering by looking wistfully into the distance while saying brutally honest things to their children. But the adults in this movie still seem to actually legitimately care about the kids, and they do try, even though they're dealing with their own flawed selves. They're still damaged and strange and a little self-centered, but it's not like they can't put that aside for the good of their children. The characters are likable in ways that they haven't always been in other Wes Anderson films. Honestly, if you've liked any Wes Anderson films in the past, or if you just like fun, whimsical movies about children going on adventures, you should go see Moonrise Kingdom. You'll have a fantastic time and walk away just feeling just nice and good all over. It's funny and sweet and thoughtful and exciting, and I give it a 9 out of 10. It's not a perfect movie, but it's the best movie I've seen in the theaters all year, and it may be my favorite Wes Anderson movie. So go watch it, and I will be back with another movie review soon. Bye!